honest way, but I like Willie D's videos, you know what I mean? But you don't bat 1,000, sometimes you do good things. So sometimes you have good videos, sometimes you have bad videos. I think that was just the off interview. I don't know. I don't know. It just wasn't the best interview. You know what I mean? And he's getting a lot of flack for that. You know what I mean? So he's responding to people who didn't take heed to his interview with Katt Williams. So let's see what he got to say.
Now, most of you have expressed gratitude for the interview. Some of you expressed disappointment.
I was one of them.
Conducted the interview in a way that some of you just did not agree with. You disagree with my line of questioning.
That was me. I definitely questioned that too. I just like the questions just wasn't. It didn't serve any purpose.
Let me break it down to you, fam. First of all, salute to Katt Williams and Shannon Sharpe for being Katt Williams and Shannon Sharpe. Without both of them being exactly who they are, that could not have happened. That viral moment where they broke the internet could not have happened. And my video that followed up to that interview would not have performed as well as it's performing. What I mean by that is, besides Shannon and I having completely different interview styles, all the comedians that previously made comments on Shannon's show that Katt took offense to were part of a bigger theme. Katt went to that show with a chip on his shoulder. I did not have that dynamic. I've interviewed many comedians, but most of the comedians, most of the people that Katt spoke on, well, at least several people that he had spoken on had been on Club Shay Shay already. And
okay, I see what he's saying. So, okay. So he's saying that the problems that the people that Katt Williams had a problem with was on his show. So he wanted to come to his show and address the people that said something about him. I get it.
Katt took offense to some of the things that they said. And so he went there with a chip on his shoulder. Now, I could not have planned something like that. If Katt had came on my show and started going off like that, I probably would have dialed it back, because invariably people are going to have differences. They're going to come on the show, they're going to have differences with people, and they're going to speak on it from time to time. But I have a slightly different style when it comes to things like that. I try to get an understanding when there's beef between people that I know, or even when there's a situation where I'm unfamiliar with and there's drama and I know about it. If I speak on it, I try to quell the noise. I try to dial it back and try to get an understanding. Understanding that you're not always going to get an understanding. Sometimes people just don't like people, and that's the way it's going to be. Now, like I said, most of the time, if something like that happens, I'm going to try to dial it back. Unless it's somebody I just don't like Steve Harvey. We got that in common. Me and Katt and Mark Curry got that in common. We don't rock with that dude. And so if Katt would have started speaking on him on my show, get him, unwind, let loose, let it go. But it would not still have been the same style interview, because if you pay attention to both interviews, my interview was more about Katt Williams, the man, the person, his setbacks, than other comedians. Shannon interview that he did was explosive. I don't think I could have captured that if he had came on my show and I had if I had had that same type of energy from him. I don't think y'all would have gotten 40, 50 million views from that, because that's just simply not my style. When I do interviews, I try to get to know the guests. I try to get you guys to know it, because my goal is to bring information and instructions to help y'all navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. That's what I do. Try to give you a more insightful look of the guests, give you more information, ask some questions that you probably never even heard. Now,
yeah, and and that's why Katt Williams said, this is the worst interview. Yes, no one would ever duplicate your horrendous video questions. So Willie D, thank you for this horrible interview questions.
But bigger than all of this, some of the biggest complaints that some of y'all are having is, well, you ask the same questions that Shannon asked, But what most of y'all don't have any idea of is, my interview was done prior to Shannon releasing his interview. I did the interview first. In fact, I spoke with Katt a couple of days ago, and he revealed to me that he did the Shannon Sharpe interview after. Now, I had the interview in the can for a couple of months. The reason why I was holding it because I have a new venture that is launching this month. And my plan was to put out the Katt Williams interview at the top of the year and use it to launch my new venture. To go with that interview first. I got a lot of other explosive interviews. You've seen the Mark Curry interview is out right now. Dope, super dope interview. But I was going to launch with the Katt Williams interview. When I looked up and saw Shannon had already put out his interview, which I had no idea that he had an interview on Katt. Katt told me about that. Katt said that he should have gave me a heads up that he had did that the Shannon interview was coming, but I guess he didn't really think to give me a heads up because he was thinking to himself, well, he's been sitting on the interview a couple of months, I don't know what we're going to do, whatever, but, I'm going to do this interview with Shannon. So when I saw the Shannon interview, my first reaction is, whoa, like everybody else. But from a business standpoint, I'm going, whoa, because now this throws a monkey wrench into my business plans. So my first instinct is to hold the interview for 2 or 3 months. That's what I was going to do. I was going to hold the interview for 2 or 3 months and wait till all of this stuff cooled down. I was going to hold it and wait till all of this stuff cooled down. But then I said, well, what if I hold it and somebody else beat me to the punch again? So at that point, I made an executive decision to drop my interview. Now, as I said, you could take that exact same interview and put it out, and it still wouldn't have done the type of numbers that Shannon did because that was a different dynamic at play.
Right.
Different things are going on within the context of an interview. In that Shannon interview that was not going on in mine. The stars aligned. That was a juggernaut interview. That's something that don't happen. 40, 50 million views for one video, an interview, that don't happen for podcasts in the podcast world.
Yeah, it's insane. I think he's at 47 million. Insane.
That was a juggernaut. So when I decided to put my interview out, here y'all come. Well, why you wait till Shannon put his interview out before you put yours out? You cloud chasing.
Well, that I didn't say that, I just said that the questions was bad, and I was under the assumption that, he did the interview after Shannon Sharpe. And that's why in my video, I'm like, yo, why is he asking Katt Williams the same question? Like, bro, over 40 million people already seen Club Shay Shay podcast. Why would you then follow up with the podcast with Katt Williams asking the same question? So that was my main concern. Is like, why are you asking the same questions as Shannon Sharpe? But come to find out, Willi D did the interview first, but he just put it out second. Okay.
Let me ask your silly ass something. What would you have done? Let's say you got a Katt Williams interview in the can, and somebody dropped a video, and the video go haywire. Millions and millions of damn views.
That was a smart business move for you. Definitely a smart business move. Yeah, you definitely want to put the skillet on the stove while it's hot. You don't want to put it on there while it's cooled down. Then you got to reheat it up again. Then you got to sit there and wait for it. Nah, start cooking when the stove is hot. So yeah, I don't know who would say that. Who would think that that's a bad idea to take advantage of this opportunity? Yeah, I didn't say that.
What would you do with your interview? Would you sit there and wait like I had planned to do initially, or would you go, you know what? Shit, man, the wave is already in the water. Let me ride this damn thing.
Yeah.
The wave is already in the water. Let me get on it. I have no shame for doing that. What would you have done as a businessman? That's what I want to know. Because if you say that you would have done anything different, I would believe that you a lying ass. And if you would have done anything different, it would explain why you probably are not good at business, why you are probably struggling financially.
Yeah. I don't know why people would say that. That was a good business move. Start cooking while the stove is hot.
Clout chasing. I already got clout, sucker. I don't chase nothing. I got to bum me. I got to get knee surgery. So I ain't chasing nothing. The same people talking down on me about my interview are many of the same people who's talking down on Shannon. Y'all remember when Shannon's video first, before I dropped my video, how so much energy was focused on how bad Shannon's interview was? His interview skills, and he ain't talking enough. He asking the wrong questions. Y'all remember that? Now all of a sudden, they on my page saying how Shannon should have gotten that interview. He should have went to Shannon and did Shannon Club Shay Shay. How Shannon, the interview was so much better. It's the same people who's talking shit about Shannon. It's over here talking shit about me. Let me tell y'all something. I ain't no damn journalist. Never claimed to be. Never ever once said that I was a journalist. I cover news, but to me, a journalist is somebody who went to school and got a degree to do it. You know, perhaps I'm wrong in my definition, but that's, you know, like a person that's learned, that went to school and to do all of this stuff. That ain't my style. I ain't no damn Ed Bradley. Don't bring y'all asses over to my channel looking for some Ed Bradley shit, because you ain't gonna get it. I don't care. Don't come over here. Don't bring your ragged ass over here looking for no Shannon Sharpe shit. You ain't gonna get it. You gonna get some really deep. Love it or hate it. I got my own lane. I do me. I would advise you to do you. Some of y'all asses are just messy. That's right, I said it. Some of y'all are just messy. Y'all want the drama. But I don't do drama. I do information and instructions to help my people navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. I don't even necessarily do interviews. I have conversations. And when you have sometimes you're going to mispronounce a word. Unfortunately, we mispronounced a word and we looked it in the editing. And the word was prosperity. And I think I said prosperity. Now, obviously, I know how to pronounce prosperity, but they all in the comments, look, you don't even know how to talk. Say it with me, Willie D. 1, 2, 3, prosperity. Like y'all dumbasses ain't never made a mistake.
I didn't even pay attention to that. I didn't even pay attention to that. I mean, everybody messes up, so that's not a big deal.
Pronouncing a word. Obviously, I know how to pronounce prosperity. I wrote a political satire column for Vice.com. I wrote for 4.5 years an advice column for the Houston Press. Complex Magazine have come to me for articles that I have published. My editor told me many times that I was the best writer he's ever had, and I'm not even educated in writing like that. I'm self-taught. I didn't go to college for all of that. I learned by listening, watching, and doing. My editor told me I was the best writer he ever had. I think the Houston Press at that time had been around about 40 years, because when I would deliver my articles, there was very little editing that needed to be done. I would deliver down and have conversations with interesting people. That's what I do, conversations. No, I don't have no cue cards. Ain't nothing wrong with cue cards, but I'm not even good with cue cards.
Okay, I think that's all I want to hear. I mean, I pretty much got the gist of it. All right, so the interview that he did with Katt Williams was older. Actually, he did the interview first, and he just took advantage of the opportunity. I feel like he definitely took advantage of the opportunity, which he should have. That was a great business move. So now knowing that, does it make the interview any better? Not really. Even knowing the truth, it still wasn't the best interview. That's why Katt Williams said, "This is probably the worst questions I've ever been asked." Yes, no one would ever steal your videos. No one would ever in the world of humanity will ever recycle your questions. You are definitely one of one, my brother Willie D. Yeah, that's why Katt Williams said what he said. I mean, I still like Willie D. You know what I mean? I still watch his videos. He still does a great job. He makes dope videos. He cover the news. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Willie D. But that interview just wasn't it. And that's just my opinion. It's your boy Damn D. I'm signing out.